Well, hello, you wonderful humans, and welcome back to Elden Ring. In today's video, we're going to go over a completely normal, perfectly balanced build in Elden. I'm just kidding. It's going to be the most broken combination of equipment that's ever existed in a game ever. Have you ever wanted to just completely blast your enemies away from a distance without ever getting touched? Well, it's possible. Have you ever just wanted to light yourself on fire, stab yourself through the gut, and walk up to your enemies and have them explode at the sheer sight of you? Well, now it's possible. Welcome to the most broken combination of equipment in Elden Ring that is going to make the entire game a walk in the park. I mean, the park will be on fire and covered in blood and the corpses of your enemies, but at least you'll still be walking through it. This is all based around a couple of different incantations, ashes of war, and weapons, and most importantly, fire's deadly sin. Now this requires 19 faith to be able to use, but once you get that, you unlock all of the power of everything else. We'll also be showing how to get the Bloodflame blade incantation, as well as the Sepuku Ash of War. And one of the most fun shields in the game, the Erdtree Greatshield. Now to get fire's deadly sin, we're going to need access to the third area, which means you're going to either have to take the Grand Lift of Dectus or go through the Cave of Death, whichever floats your boat. Then you're going to make your way through across these roads in here and then into the capital city and down into the Avenue balcony. From here, it's a pretty straightforward process to get to the first part of the fire's deadly sin, like kind of, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a quest line, but you don't really even have to fight anything other than maybe this minor Erdtree that'll spawn right here. And then there's these three dudes that aren't necessarily difficult to get past, but they do cast freaking lightning bolts from the sky. So if you're fat rolling like me, it might hurt a lot. So you can run past them, and then you just got to open this door into this church. And then inside of the church, we're going to turn right, a bigger right, a less bigger right. There we go. Man, I'm all lost in the sauce today. Then we're going to turn right through here, and there's going to be a site of grace for us to rest at. Now, at this site of grace is going to be this glowy painting. We need to examine this, and then we get to go find the location of where this painting was painted. After picking up the painting, you need to leave the capital city, and you can head to the outer wall battlegrounds if you don't have any of these other site of grace. And you can follow this road all the way up until you get to these crossroads where you can go into the windmill village. Now, I wish I could tell you what the hell is going on in this village, but some things are just probably left to be unknown. But regardless, we're gonna run up through this windmill village of dancing creepy ladies. Now, as you run up this hill, there's going to be one of these Godskin apostles here, which you can run past. It does drop some cool stuff, but that's not where we need to go. We can go down to where the rest of these dancing ladies are. And then behind the dancing crazy ladies is going to be this little ghost that is kind of painting. Ooh, I didn't want to read the message. I just wanted to pick up the item, which is fire's deadly sin. Now, if you do go back and kill that Godskin boss, you're going to get the peeler and the scouring black flame, which is honestly actually really, really good. After this, we're going to head to the Rose Church, which is also in Lorinia. If you go to the Boil Prawn Shack Grace Point, you can run this way over to the Rose Church. And then from here, we're going to look northwest. Now, if we're looking northwest, just inside the water, we're going to see one of these like dung beetles rolling a ball. And we need to run up to this thing and kill it before it gets away to unlock the Bloodflame blade. This is amazing. Now, with just these two pieces of the puzzle, we're going to be able to do one of the fun parts of this, which allows us to catch ourselves on fire. And then if we switch over to the Bloodflame blade, we can then apply that blood to our blade, which then also applies the blood effect to the fire. This essentially applies an overpowered blood effect to the flames covering our body, allowing us to just walk into any target and cause blood loss to them, which each time is going to take 10% of their HP and can burn them down incredibly fast because of how many times this applies in such a quick manner. Now, the Bloodflame blade can only be applied to certain weapons that don't already have passive effects on them. So say I wanted to apply the effect to like the Sword of Night and Flame, I wouldn't be able to. So it is limited to certain weapons that don't have passive effects, but really it doesn't matter because you can just apply it on a weapon and then just use your body to destroy everything. The Bloodflame blade is going to be a really great earlier game option to make this build work, but there might even be one better one that you can get once you get to the mountaintops of the Giants, which is the 4th zone. If you head to the Frozen Lake here and go to the Freezing Lake Site of Grace, we can head just east over to this tree that is on the frozen lake. Once you're over here, you're going to see these little light footsteps that are appearing on the ground. This is actually one of those invisible dung beetles, which means we can kill this to get an Ash of War. So anytime you see this in the game, always try and take it out. It's a little frustrating, but if you just wait and time it perfectly, as it approaches, you should be able to kill it without too much of a problem. Here it comes, and I missed. Now, once you are able to kill it, you're going to get the Ash of War Sepuku. Now, Sepuku is limited to being usable on swords as well as polearms capable of thrusting and not usable on small and colossal weapons. This will be great for swords and katanas, and it's a really, really great Ash of War. Now, similar to with the Bloody Flame, we're going to light ourselves on fire. And then we're going to take out our weapon, hit L2 with this equipped. We're going to stab the sword through our body, or rip it out, and now we have the blood effect on our flames and the blood effect on our weapon as well, which is honestly just a ridiculous combination because we're going to apply so much blood loss that things just really won't be able to do much. And quite frankly, lighting yourself on fire and then stabbing yourself through the gut is just... it's just super cool. So just for effect, this is just, I don't know, it's kind of ridiculously overpowered. It's not even fair. You can just roll through dudes and ruin their lives, and then run away, light yourself on fire again, reapply the effect, and just keep wrecking faces. Now we need to add range to this build, which means we need to get the Erdtree Greatshield, which is an easy way to cheese the boss to be able to get this, but if we have this, we can light ourselves on fire, and then we can equip our shield, and we can shoot laser beams of death at our enemies, which, I don't know about you, but I like laser beams of death, and I like killing things without having to get anywhere near them. Now, to be able to get this shield, you're going to need to get to the 3rd area and go to the outer wall Phantom Tree. Once you're here, you can sneak out this main gate. You're going to see the 2 tree sentinels standing outside. These are both considered one boss, so you need to kill both of them. If you sneak up on one of them and use Rotten Breath, you can actually fight one of them at a time and not have to fight both. You could just lure one away, let Rotten Breath kill it as you run around, and it's just a really easy cheese once you can get away from the target and just let it kill itself, essentially. After you kill both of these with the Rotten Breath, you're going to be able to get the Erdtree Greatshield. Now, this does have a strength requirement of 30 and a faith requirement of 12, but it is darn good. Now, leveling up your Erdtree Greatshield will also increase the amount of damage it does from the Golden Retaliation. And to use this, all you need to do is just light yourself on fire, and then we're going to target an enemy, press L2, and just shoot these beams of death at it that do in fact go through shields and stuff as well, and cause quite a bit of stun. Now, you saw we're doing about 800 damage per hit right now without having a block in the way, which is just, it's honestly stupidly overpowered, and this effect will last as long as you have yourself lit on fire. So to reignite this, all you need to do is just light yourself back on fire and you can keep blasting.